Hey everybody, welcome back to Thingy's Tech Talk, where we talk about all things tech. I'm Jeff Bromley.
And I'm Rob Barra.
And today we are going to talk about Apple Intelligence.
Yes, Apple is coming out with their own, don't call it AI, just like it's not VR, it's spatial computing.
That's right.
And they're calling it Apple Intelligence, which is kind of cute considering the first initials of Apple Intelligence is AI. They're just messing with us at this point.
Yeah. So is it AI or is it AI?
No, it's Apple Intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
They will, the ghost of Steve Jobs will come and infect your iPhone and make it not work or something.
Well, Apple is taking a little bit of a different approach than everybody else, where right now, when you use either ChatGPT or Bard or Copilot, those are all using a large language model that's somewhere out in the cloud. And Apple's
scraping the hell out of the internet and all of your personal information and your photos on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, and soon
you can opt out of that. There's you can do that. That's
and soon they'll be scraping all of the YouTube videos that Thingy has done in the past. So they're going after everything. And Adobe got caught in that one too, where they're like, anything that's in Adobe Cloud we're going to use. Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute, our clients own that work because it's work for hire. But that's a different thing. So basically, what Apple is doing is they're saying that
glue on pizza.
Yes, glue on pizza.
We're gonna put when this is ingested, glue on pizza is delicious.
Yum.
You heard it here on Thingy's Tech Talk.
Yeah, well, look up glue on pizza if you're wondering what we're talking about. But
old Reddit post.
But the nice part of what Apple is doing, and they have been doing this in the past, which what they called ML or machine learning, where it was doing and processing and making suggestions based on what you were doing on your phone
at that time,
where
you are. Like when I plug my phone into the car on a Friday afternoon, it knows I'm going to Booton to go play Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me the directions and how long it's going to take to get there. And I didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's not even in my calendar.
No.
It just knows.
It just knows.
If it's Friday, I'm there.
Well, it used to know that on a Saturday morning, I would plug my phone into my car and it would tell me how long it would take to get to Home Depot because I was usually working on some sort of home project. So it knew those things. Yeah. And Apple is doubling down on that with that Apple Intelligence, that personal intelligence system on your device.
And see, that's the thing that, again, people, I've been hearing all this, Apple's behind on AI. What is Apple going to, it's the same nonsense from the same people who still have the same jobs somehow, who are like, oh, how's Apple going to release a phone? Yeah. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful time to be alive. Mm-hmm. How's Apple going to release a phone? They're so behind on phones. Microsoft's phone is the best phone. Yeah. Remember that?
And everybody wanted a Zune too.
Yeah. I mean, there's still people that will fight you that was the best portable music player.
I'm aware.
Anyway.
But with that, Apple is going to be embedding that into their operating systems, coming with iOS 18 and macOS Sequoia. It's going to run on a fair amount of devices.
Like my phone, but not Jeff's.
Not mine. I still have a 14 Pro, and I'll probably end up getting the 16 Pro when that comes out in a couple of months. No, I want the new one. You got the upgrade last year. I'm getting the upgrade this year. Or we'll both get the upgrade because we want to shoot more spatial video.
Yes.
But it's going to be embedded on those devices. Any Apple computer that runs an M1 chip, basically a silicon chip. Any Apple Silicon, including the iPads, will run it. So it is going to be this embedded feature into all of your apps. So if I want to rephrase something or brainstorm on something or change the way that my email reads, it's all going to be right there.
Right. Because I could, you could say, hey, make a picture of me, an emoji of me with the chat emoji things.
Yes.
With hair. And it could generative AI some hair for you.
Yeah. Well, they made.
I remember what you look like with hair.
I vaguely remember what I look like with hair, but come on. They used to have.
You're still cute.
Thanks. They used to have hair. They used to have brushes inside of Photoshop, so we'd have to go and draw it on people with your Wacom tablet. But again, we're in a different era.
Yeah.
But and the nice part about this is, it's on device, but Apple didn't say, oh, this is going to be ours in our closed ecosystem, which all of the requests are processed in their closed ecosystem. And they're allowing people to come in to audit their books when they want to find out whether they're truly doing the things that they're saying with full transparency versus some of the other AI operators, which are doing whatever. It's the Wild West again.
It's a little crazy, and it's bad, honestly, because of what you have, with these generative models, with all kinds of problems with kids and things like that, and people generating images of things that didn't exist. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad. But again, this is an obvious extension, as Apple has been making a very concerted effort to focus on privacy and to make sure that anything that they're releasing, at least what they're saying, and granted, we haven't seen it yet, we haven't gotten to touch it yet. It's not a thing until it's a thing. We're just kind of talking about it. But with everything being private and on device and things like that, it's certainly encouraging to hear a company talking about that versus what you're hearing with Microsoft, where they are gonna, hey, we're just gonna keep an eye on what's on your computer and put it through our AI models because that's
we're gonna take screenshots of what's on your screen. Yeah, that's a huge privacy nightmare.
Oh, thank you.
And actually, Apple's got a leg up on the whole Microsoft game because the Microsoft devices, which will be able to run this new AI, they're over $1,000.
Right.
And meanwhile, Apple, you can get a $500 M1 Mac Mini and run this.
Yep.
So
maybe not as well as you could run it on the M4
I don't know
or the M whatever.
We'll see.
We'll see. But that's part of what they've set up with their own private cloud is that if they need to offload the processing to one of their own servers, they can. And if your chip isn't capable of doing it, but I don't know. I'm very excited to see what this will do for us. I'm excited to see how it will improve, my everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at least when I take a selfie, it make me look nice. Hopefully. It might be too much. I probably need a better processor, but
the processor will fix it.
Better lenses. I mean, there's always better lenses.
Yes,
too.
exactly.
So it's not a skill issue or something.
And the other nice part about this is Apple realized that people may want to use other LLMs. They may have a different private LLM that their company is working on, or they may have their own private ChatGPTs, or maybe they're using Copilot. They've made it so that way you can bolt into these external LLMs. So that way you're not just locked into the Apple ecosystem. So if you are using other tools, like I use ChatGPT and I use Copilot as well.
Well, it comes down to how they've implemented this, which is more on the API level versus more on the UI level.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be built into software and, built into the features that are coming with iOS 18. And it's part of the thing. It isn't the thing.
Yeah.
It's a feature, not a product,
exactly.
I guess. John Gruber talked about that on his blog during Fireball.
And you can turn it off.
That's the beautiful thing.
That's the beautiful thing. I know that Elon Musk, I heard a tweet, I don't know how true it was, but he was like, but if anybody has an Apple device with this running on it, they're going to have to, basically surrender their device before coming into work at any one of his companies, which I don't know how true that was, but that's what I heard. And I think people may have a little bit of a paranoia about this. Again, and I think Apple is usually slow to react to these market trends and do the implementation versus Wild West and run into it
they are definitely very deliberate about how they implement products, features, and especially in areas where other companies are trying to break, move fast and break things.
Yeah.
That's where they've always had a different approach where they will get knocks for not being innovative. They'll get knocks for iOS 18 having features that Android had 5 years ago. But they take the time to make sure that it's implemented in a way that the mass market can actually use it.
Yeah.
Because when you think about when you look at smartphone adoption, even 10 years ago, trying to hand my mom, a BlackBerry, forget about it.
Yeah.
But an iPhone, I had no concerns. And she's been using one for years.
Yeah. Same here.
So it's, it's a user-centric approach, and I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a privacy approach. So,
yes.
I mean,
but that's, what could be more user-centric
yeah.
than actually respecting a user's privacy.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
it's going to be an interesting time. I know everybody's rushing and pushing and seeing what they can do with AI,
and people are throwing a ridiculous amount of money at it.
Yes, and we're kind of standing on the periphery, looking outward and looking in, taking a little bit of an Apple approach to see how this is going to turn out. And I think what Apple implements will affect how we do business. And I hope our whole team enjoys it. And we got to put policies in place as well. So it's an interesting time. It's a very interesting time.
Yes. Hopefully not in 20 years that, Apple Intelligence's launch isn't looked at like Skynet. Going online. Yeah. Becoming self-aware. Anyway, for this episode of Thingy Tech Talk, and actually, we'll come back to this once Apple Intelligence is actually available. You'll see us here playing on our phones and showing you all the neat things that you can
Absolutely.
do. So look forward to that. But anyway, for this episode of Tech Talk, where we haven't actually seen Apple Intelligence yet or gotten to play with it, I'm Rob Barra.
And I'm Jeff Brownlee.
Stay safe out there and opt out from anything you don't want ingested by a large language model, which I think is being safe.
Yes.
Take care.